Okay, Mayor, we like.
Great, thank you. So today is March 3rd, 2021. It is 7:36 p.m. and I am calling to order the Ballen Park City Council regular virtual meeting. And at this point, I believe we have an invocation by Dr. Pastor Flores.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the opportunity. Also wanted to share as I pray. I don't know if you've all heard that my father passed away about 10 days ago. Longtime pastor here in Baldwin Park for nearly 60 years, longtime resident as well too. And I just want to thank all of you who have joined us in prayer for my mom and our family and our church as well too. And invite you to come. We'll be lying in state, having them lie in state on Monday morning, March 15th from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock on the church campus. Let me pray. Alzaré mis ojos a los montes, ¿de dónde vendrá mi socorro? Mi socorro viene de Jehová, que hizo los cielos y la tierra. No dará tu pie al resbaladero, ni se dormirá el que te guardar. He aquí no se adormecerá, ni dormirá el que guardar a Israel. Jehová es tu guardador, Jehová es tu sombra, tu mano derecha. El sol no te fatigará de día, ni la luna de noche. Jehová te guardará de todo mal, él guardará tu alma. Jehová guardará tu salida y tu entrada desde ahora y para siempre. Heavenly Father, I thank you for the city of Baldwin Park. I thank you for our friends and family who are in leadership today, who continue, Lord, to lead with integrity, lead, God, from their heart, but with their mind as well. Lord, I'm grateful for the privilege you've given us to be part of this community. And we pray, Lord, for all the families, Lord, that hurt, that mourn, that grieve in this season. Many of our families, our citizens, Lord, have suffered, Lord, through this pandemic. And yet, God, we continue to see Baldwin Park strong. Thank you, Father, Lord, for the healing power that comes from your hand, the compassion that flows from your arm. Thank you, Father, for the love that we see in the city that continues to heal one another. I thank you for our mayor. I thank you, Lord, for his call in his life to lead in this season. Thank you, Lord, for our council. Thank you for our police. Lord, thank you for all those who serve as essential workers, Lord, to the leadership of this great city. We commit this meeting to you as we seek your wisdom in moving the mission of this city forward. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Flores, for that. And of course, my sincerest, I just lost the word, I'm so sorry. Condolences to you and your family, and of course, the Church of the Redeemer, who are a big part of our community.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, and I believe at this point we have the Pledge of Allegiance, and I always like to pick somebody. I see we have former Councilmember Cruz Baca. Would you like to do us the honor of leading us in the flag salute?
Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you very much. Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
The United States of America.
Republic for which it stands.
One nation, under God, indivisible,
Indivisible,
with justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you for leading us in the flag salute.
Sure.
City Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We have Councilmember Danny Damian,
Here.
Monica Garcia,
Here.
Councilmember Paul Hernandez,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Alejandra Avila,
Here.
and Mayor Emmanuel Estrada.
Here, thank you. Thank you, City Clerk. At this point, there are nothing to report from closed session as we haven't adjourned. Announcements, where's Shannon? I think we do have to report out. I did attend the webinar for the Independent Cities Association, the winter webinar, and we learned some great things. One of the greatest things I think I took back from that was the tiny home program is immensely popular in cities all around the state. And I know Manuel Carrillo, he invited us to attend that webinar with Redondo Beach. And I saw during that webinar that, it's a very successful and very approved of by communities everywhere. So I'm very excited that we were able to send a letter of intent to a similar program at the last city council meeting. And at this point, we can move on to proclamations, commendations, and presentations. And I believe we have a presentation by
Mayor?
Alzheimer's Los Angeles. Yeah, City Council, Councilmember
Thank
Garcia.
you. Yes, before we go into the presentations, can we close on behalf of Dr. Aureliano Flores? Actually, Reverend Aureliano Flores. And I just want to extend condolences to the Flores family and thank Pastor Flores for his prayers and his strength this evening. We extend our prayers to you and to your mother and your family during this difficult time. We have so appreciated all of the contributions, the wonderful, blessings that your father provided to this community through the Church of Redeemer, and all the programs and services that church has given to this community, really, and the legacy, the lasting impression that he will have in our community through the church. We will not forget, just his contributions, and we extend our condolences. So thank you again, for your prayers, and we give those prayers back to you and your family in this difficult time. Mayor,
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
I also want to extend my condolences, Pastor Flores, to you and your family. Very difficult times, I understand. So thank you for always being here with us. Again, my deep condolences.
Mr. Mayor, if I
Mayor.
may. Oh, please, Ms. Contreras, please.
Oh, well, thank you. I will also like to close in memory of Dr. Flores' dad. I will also like to close in memory of my dad. He passed away 6 years ago, and his 99th birthday. I thank God for having him in my life, and he'll always be part of me. Thank you.
Mayor?
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I want to also close this evening's meeting on behalf of Maria G. Montes. She's a longtime resident and senior here. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family. They're going to be celebrating the celebration of life this Saturday. For those that are aware of her and are close to their family, Dr. Flores, again, there's very little that I can say during this challenging time. It's always very difficult to lose a loved one, especially a parent. But please rest assured that my family are our thoughts and our prayers are with you. And if there's anything that we can do besides lighting a candle and saying a prayer on your behalf and on your father's behalf, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or anyone else on the council. The Church of the Redeemer has been steady fast in supporting our community with the weekly food drives and so forth. So, it's your institution and the institution that he founded is a beacon of our community. So thank you for everything that you've done, and more importantly, everything your father has established and created a legacy in our city.
Mayor, I have one more person. I'm sorry.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
I want to close in memory of my cousin, Debbie Ortiz. She passed away a week ago. She was only 57 years old. I want to send the condolences to my entire family, and also to urge everybody of this COVID. It's extremely dangerous. Even after you have been well, she had been well. She got sick in December. She was already back at work, leading her normal life, but apparently COVID is sneaky like that. It stays with you and you don't even know it. And so I'm just asking everybody to please follow the mask rules, stay home as much as possible, because it doesn't matter, it doesn't discriminate, it just takes anybody. Even when we think we're out of the water, apparently we're not. So I'm closing in memory of my cousin, Debbie Ortiz. Thank you.
Great, thank you for that. And I want to, who was that? There's so
It's
many people on
Marlene.
my screen. I can't see who it is. Yes, City Clerk Garcia.
Thank you. I just want to express my condolences to Mayor Pro Tem, the loss of your cousin. Yes, COVID has lingering effects that we still are not sure what they are. And sadly, we're seeing these cases continue. So my deepest sympathy to you. I also wanted to express my condolences to Pastor Flores and his family. Little did we know that when he was at our meeting the last time and providing us with the invocation, that was, I understand, the day that his father passed away. So that he was here praying with us speaks volumes of the type of man and soul his father was. I had the pleasure of knowing his father for many years, always found it so inspiring and welcoming to attend their church services. And he was just a beautiful man, a beautiful soul, always with a smile, always inspiring people, encouraging people. He truly was, I would say, a man of God. And so I was deeply, deeply saddened to hear about his passing. So Pastor Flores, sorry for your loss, and I know that we're all with you. Thank you.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. And of course, our condolences go to everybody that's lost someone. And it's never easy. My sister's birthday is coming up, and I lost her a little over a year ago to the violence in Mexico. So I understand all of you. At this point, we can move on to Alzheimer Los Angeles presentation.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, staff. My name is Effa Moreno. I'm the Senior Manager for Community Education and Outreach for Alzheimer's Los Angeles. And I want to thank the mayor for his help in getting me on the agenda tonight to raise awareness about Alzheimer's disease, the services that Alzheimer's LA provides, as well as empowering caregivers through education, and to bring this message to the residents of Ballen Park. So you may ask yourself, why, what is the need? Alzheimer's disease is an age-related disease, and 1 in 9 people at the age of 65 or over have Alzheimer's. And right now, if you can go back, that's fine. Well, anyways, right now, every day there's 10,000 people reaching the age of 65. And this is going to happen until the year 2030. So it's a growing problem. And not only that, Alzheimer's disease affects the Latino and the African-American communities at a higher rate than the white communities. So Alzheimer's disease affects a person's memory, judgment, and abilities to do simple daily tasks. Thus, Alzheimer's not only impacts the person, but the whole family as well. And unfortunately, as of now, there is no cure or no proven way to prevent it. But the good news is Alzheimer's Los Angeles is here to help you. Next, please. So Alzheimer's is celebrating its 40th year. We're a locally based community health organization, nonprofit. Our mission is to improve the lives of families affected by Alzheimer's and related dementias by increasing awareness, delivering effective programs and services, providing compassionate support, and advocating for quality care and a cure. And for the past 2 years, we were fortunate that Alzheimer's LA made over 46,000 contacts to people living with the disease, the family caregivers, and professionals through our programs and services. Next. So we provide, all of our services are 100% no cost. The only exception is professional training that is for doctors and other healthcare organizations. The services we provide are our helpline, which is a multilingual helpline. We have care counseling, where we have professional care counselors that will virtually meet with the family and provide come up with a care plan, provide resources and information. Right now, we have over 32 support groups that meet virtually for caregivers to give each other emotional support. We also have our early stage programs, and these are programs for people who are in the early or moderate stage along with their caregivers, and they participate in these groups such as Art for Alls or Memory Mornings. And we have ones that's called Baseballs, and it's a program that talks about baseball. And this is a remembrance therapy. And this program, Baseballs, was written up by the LA Times sports writer Bill Plaschke in 2019, and it was on how good of a program it was. We also have Medical Alert, Found California, and we also work with the county with the LA Found service. This is helpful for people who have Alzheimer's and wander off. It helps them, be found quickly. And lastly, we do community outreach and caregiver education, and where we give multiple classes in different languages. Next. So I'm here specifically to announce that we're having a program, a 3-week program that's specifically for Latino caregivers. And it's called Cuidando con Respeto, Caregiving with Respect. It's a 3-week program, and it starts on Tuesday, March 30th at 5:30 p.m. So it meets once a day, 1 day a week for 2 hours for 3 consecutive weeks. And Cuidando con Respeto is derived from the Savvy Caregiver program, which is an evidence-based program or evidence-based training. So it's been proven to be effective through research. This training is designed to have significant reductions in caregiving distress and notable improvements in caregiving skills and knowledge. Next. So this is the flyer that we created that we're, passing around, through the internet and through our listservs. And we're, I'm happy that the City of Ballen Park is also a sponsor of this. And so if you want to register for this, you can call this number, 323, the number on the flyer, 323-859-8810, or you can email at amoran@alzla.org, or you can just call our helpline number. Next. So the other class that I want to make an announce for the people are Creando un hogar más seguro para personas con Alzheimer. Alzheimer, it's making the home safe for people with Alzheimer's. So this class is going to be on Thursday, March 18th at 4 p.m. And all these classes and trainings right now are virtual. So this is a 1-hour presentation. Caregivers or the general public learn methods to modify your home, use technology to increase safety at home, and you will learn a behavior management strategy, because that's one of the main goals as a caregiver for someone with Alzheimer's is managing behavior. Next. So we know that especially in low-income Latino households, not everyone has the computer or the internet, but fortunately, the library for Ballen Park is a county library, and they do have laptops and internet hotspots that they can loan out. You can search around. If they don't have any there, you can search to the other local libraries that are close by, like Norwood, Sunkest, or go over to West Covina or Almonte. So those could help. If a family doesn't have it, they can try their LA County Library, just as long as they have an active library card. Next, please. So these are some of our other classes that we have. For the general public, the classes cover the basics of Alzheimer's, brain health, behaviors of Alzheimer's disease, and how to compassionately and effectively communicate with someone, and of course, making your home safe. The other trainings that we offer for specifically for caregivers is the 6-week course. It's a Savvy Caregiver. And then we have the Savvy Caregiver Express, which is a 3-week course. And of course, we have the Cuidando con Respeto. We are rolling out a new training soon in Spanish, Unidos en el Cuidado, but we are not we're finalizing that training. Next. So my big ask for you is tonight, the big ask for you tonight is to, share this information with a family member, a friend, a neighbor or a coworker who's a caregiver, because they're probably really busy right now and they can't attend this meeting. But by 1 degree of separation, you can help us reach that caregiver. So I'm really and thankful for the time that the city's provided to me and to share this information. AlzheimersLA.org is our website. Our helpline number is 844-435-7259. And that would be the best way to reach us and the gateway to all our services. You can also go to our website to find the schedule of all our classes that we offer. Okay, and that's it. Any questions?
Mayor?
Was that Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
I just want to say, Mr. Moreno, thank you very much for that presentation, and it's definitely very helpful. I've known many people with Alzheimer's or people that are taking care of them and that have actually passed also. So it's very important information. Manny Carrillo, we can put this on our website so people can seek help, because a lot of times they're lost. I just recently, not that recently, 2 years ago, my neighbor passed of that. And the daughter was a caregiver, and she was lost sometimes, didn't know what to do or how to go about getting help. So thank you for that information. It is very important, and we need to make sure that our community members are aware that the help is out there. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And I want to thank Efren. I know that this has been something that he's been dedicated to for a very long time. So I'm excited that we can partner with Los Angeles Alzheimer and help our community with resources that they might need. I know that a lot of the times our community, because of where we are in demographics and the economic ladder, caregiving does fall on a lot of family members, and they need support and they need help. And I think this is one way to help them out in a way. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I don't know if any other council members have any comments or questions. If not, I do believe Manny will share out this flyer on the social media, right? And we'll get it out there as much as we can and let as many residents know about the opportunity to join this event.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good meeting.
Great, thank you. And I believe at this point we are moving to recognize the 2020 Kindness Angel recipient, Betty Nixon. And I believe I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to take a guess and assume that Councilmember Damian took initiative on this one.
You were right, Mayor. Yeah, so basically this is for the Kindness Angel 2021 that the Baldwin Park Women's Club recognizes every year. And I'm going to go ahead and, do you have, Cruz, the recognition that was sent out to Betty Nixon?
And then, I don't know if you're aware, Councilmember, but you will have to let Chief Deputy Lourdes, I can't even speak, Chief Deputy Lulu call the recipient before you can speak to her, okay?
Got it.
Are you ready for me to call? I'm sorry.
Yes, Lulu, can you call her?
Hello.
Hi, is this Betty Nixon? Hi, Betty. I'm calling. This is Mayor Estrada. I'm calling you from the city of Baldwin Park, the regular meeting. We were going to recognize you for being the 2020 Kindness Angel recipient.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
So I believe you were the 2020 Kindness Angel recipient, and I have Cruz Baca here, and we have Councilmember Damien. So I'm going to hand it over to them so they can better explain.
Yes.
Hi, Mrs. Nixon. My name is Hi, good evening. My name is Danny Damien. You are being recognized by the City of Baldwin Park for the Kindness Angel 2021. And I'm going to go ahead and read the recognition that you should have received yesterday. It says, in recognition of being named, in recognition of being named Baldwin Park Women's Club Kindness Angel 2021, the City Council congratulates you for your devotion to families and organizations, and most of all, for your kind and generous heart. Thank you for your hard work, dedication, and for being one of the most active members for the Women's Club in our community. Presented this third day of March 2021. Congratulations, Mrs. Nixon. I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to the Women's Club President, Cruz Baca. Cruz?
Thank you very much, Mayor and council members and the City of Baldwin Park for recognizing this incredible lady. I don't think there's enough time in one evening to be able to express everything that she and her husband, Clint Nixon, have contributed to our community. For those of you who don't know the background of the Nixons, Betty is too shy sometimes to tell you everything that they've done, but since I've been here in Baldwin Park a lifetime, I've known them for a long time. So, but Betty herself has been such a mentor and such a leader within the Women's Club. Not only helping us in the kitchen to have our annual fundraiser, scholarship fundraiser, where we raise a lot of money and give out 10 $1,000 scholarships and 6 $500 scholarships to the students from Sierra Vista, Baldwin Park High School, and even North Park High School. So she works in the kitchen. I'm sure a lot of you have been to our fundraiser and you've ordered takeout of that famous Salisbury steak. Well, that's Betty's recipe. And so I just want to thank Betty. There aren't enough words, like I said, to thank her for all the mentoring and all the kindness, the friendship through the years, and how active she still is, even though she's partially blind now. And so, but she still, with a magnifying glass, addresses cards and calls people and makes sure that everybody's okay, especially during this pandemic. So a little bit more background of the Nixons is that they were co-owners of Coles Market, and Coles Market was just south of City Hall, that little market that's on the corner of, I believe that's Bogart or Downing and Pacific. That little market right across from City Hall. I forget what it's called, El Pilon or something, I think it's called now. Anyway, that was Coles Market years ago, and Betty Nixon and her family co-owned that little local supermarket. Clint Nixon, her husband, was on the school board for many years, the Baldwin Park Unified School District, and he, along with Margaret Solanason and Betty herself, were very instrumental in building the Performing Arts Center. Those are just a few of the many, many things that this family has done and for the city of Baldwin Park and our community. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank the Nixons, Betty especially, for her kindness and her years of friendship. So thank you very much, Betty. You've been a real mentor and especially a friend. So thank you.
Thank you, Cruz.
Great, and thank you for joining us today.
Mayor, we also have Danica Mendoza from the Senator Susan Rubio's office, as well as Veronica Lopez for Assemblymember Blanca Rubio's office.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to recognize Betty Nixon.
Yes, of course. Go ahead. Councilmember Damien, you can control this portion.
I'm sorry, Danica. Go ahead, take it away, Danica.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Damien, and thank you to Mayor Estrada, the entire council, and also President Cruz Baca for inviting us to be here with you all today. I know the senator was really looking forward to recognizing Betty Nixon in person. She had joined on earlier, but unfortunately she had another commitment to make. But from the bottom of Senator Rubio's heart, we'd just like to congratulate Betty Nixon. The senator is really proud to call Miss Nixon a dear friend, as well as Betty's late husband, Mr. Nixon. You know, they have known each other for many, many years, both as members of the Women's Club, proud members of the Women's Club, and especially during these times that can be rather isolating with COVID-19. It's very important that we recognize others sharing kindness, because that's extremely important in connecting us as a community. So on behalf of Senator Rubio and the California State Senate, we'd like to recognize Ms. Betty Nixon as the recipient of the 2020 Kindness Angel Award. We applaud your continuous passion, your willingness to help others, and your dedication to your community, Ms. Nixon. We hope that you have received our certificate, but please know that you are extremely loved by Senator Rubio, and that we very much appreciate all the kindness that you give to the entire community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I did get the certificate, so thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you, Danica. And now we have Veronica Lopez from Assemblymember Blanco's office.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor Estrada, Vice Mayor Avila, council members Damien, Garcia, and Hernandez, and the community that's listening tonight. I'm Veronica Lopez here on behalf of Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio. It is an honor to recognize Betty Nixon, not just for her 2020 recipient of the Kindness Angel, but also for all that she has done throughout the years for the community. Her generosity and her volunteerism at the Baldwin Park Women's Club has benefited many of our youth with scholarships to go to college or trade school, but also for all the young at heart individuals that are part of the Baldwin Park Women's Club. Again, her generosity has touched many in the community. So it is on behalf, and I know that we presented also a certificate to Ms. Nixon prior to tonight. But so on behalf of Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio and the California State Legislature, we want to say congratulations on being the recipient of the Kindness Angels, but also thank you so much for all that you have done. We do appreciate you, and I echo the sentiments that everyone has shared. And what stories. I grew up on Holly Street, which is by the Baldwin Park Unified School District, and Cruz. Yes, I was sent many times by my mom to Coast Market to buy some meat for the family. So I'm very familiar with that area. Great stories. And I used to love to drive by Main Avenue and see the house full of the little bird houses in front of your house. So Ms. Betty Nixon, congratulations on this recognition. And we thank you again. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.
Got the certificate from the Assemblywoman also, so thank you.
Thank you.
And thank all of you.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for joining us on the call. I always enjoy when we recognize Baldwin Park residents, especially when they have such a long history here. I like Ms. Veronica Lopez. When I first moved to Baldwin Park, I used to live on Virginia Avenue, so I would walk there to that same market. So it's nice, it's nice to know how interconnected we all are, regardless of age and anything. We all live in the same city, and it's really exciting. I think I'm glad Councilmember Damien is likes to give out certificates, because he brings on people and we learn about them, and we learn, what an impact we can have on our city. And so, it's very exciting to have you here. I'm glad to hear that you have the energy to keep helping everybody and staying involved. And that's honestly inspiring. So I have my respects to you.
Well, I'm getting a little bit old to do all that stuff now. I've been in this house for 58 years. And this November, I'll be a member of the Women's Club 50 years. So I still try to do my part, but I've slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, as long as you keep going, that's what counts, right? So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the city, and thank you for staying involved. You are definitely setting an example for all of us, right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, have a good night. Thank you. And at this point, thank you, Councilmember Damian, for that. City Clerk, do we have public communications?
Yes, Mayor, we have a total of 5 speakers. It'll be Catherine Lucer from our local library, John Rios, Beatriz Sandoval, Ralph Galvan, Director of the Valley County Water District, and Valerie Munoz, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of La Puente, but also the Chair to the San Gabriel Basin Water Quality Authority. So I'm going to defer to our Deputy City Clerk.
Thank you, City Clerk. The first caller is Catherine Lozier. Let me try her now.
Hello.
Hi, is this Catherine Lozier?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Catherine. It's Mayor Estrada from Ballen Park. I believe you wanted to make a comment.
Yes, please.
Great. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. So again, good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, community partners, fellow community members. I'd like to quickly give a shout out to Mr. Moreno. Thank you so much for mentioning our laptop and hotspot program here at the LA County Library. Please give us a call if you ever want a laptop. If we don't have one here at Ballen Park Library, we will help to track them down at any of our other library locations. So thank you again, Mr. Moreno. And then tonight, I just wanted to share a couple of programs that we have upcoming. One is the next session of the LA County Library's Work Ready virtual programming series. It's a program called Get Going with LinkedIn. This is a workshop that will take place on Tuesday, March 9th at 7 p.m. And it will show you how to create a dynamic profile in LinkedIn that will help catch the eye of job recruiters and other like-minded individuals to help you with professional networking. And for history lovers, backed by popular demand, we have our Take a Tour Through Early Victorian Era LA that will take place on Thursday, March 11th at 5 p.m. And this program will teach about local history as seen through images from the Homestead Museum collection. And then the third program is a program called COVID Must Knows for Immigrants. It's vaccination, testing, and safety with the LA County Office of Immigration Affairs. This information session will take place on Thursday, March 18th at 6 p.m. And then in addition to this program, the LA County Library does offer quite a bit of information on citizenship and immigration, including digital resources, books, and also available through our sidewalk service is citizenship kit in a bag, which includes handouts, educational materials, as well as the official citizenship forms that you can keep and use. So for anybody who's interested in more information on any of the library resources, programs, or service, please visit lscountylibrary.org or give us a call at the Ballen Park Library at 626-962-6947. Thank you all and have a wonderful evening.
Great. Thank you for that information, Ms. Lozier. City Clerk, who is next?
Mayor, the next caller is Mayor Pro Tem City of La Puente, Valerie Munoz, which she's also board chair to the San Gabriel Basin Water Quality Authority.
Hello.
Hi, is this Mayor Pro Tem Valerie?
Yes, I can barely hear you. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. So this is Mayor Estrada. I'm calling you from the city of Ballen Park regarding your public communication.
Oh, yes. Good evening, Mayor. How are you? Thank you for calling me back. Is right now the time where I can address the council, or?
Yes, of course. You can start talking whenever you're ready.
Okay, yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Honorable Mayor and council members. My name is Mayor Pro Tem Valerie Munoz from the city of La Puente. But more importantly, I am your representative on the San Gabriel Basin Water Quality Authority, and I represent cities with non-pumping rights. I've been elected back in 2017 and 2019, and one of my main goals was to ensure that I always provided additional updates to local cities regarding the water cleanup efforts in the San Gabriel Valley. 80% of our water comes from our current aquifers here in the San Gabriel Valley. And our goal at the agency is to ensure that we keep contaminants as well as to ensure quality drinking water for our constituents in our city. I just wanted to reach out and just to remind all of council that tomorrow, Thursday, March 4th, we will be hosting a special update for city officials. It starts at 12 p.m. It's an online webinar, lasts approximately 30 minutes. So we will be discussing benefits of earmarks for the San Gabriel Basin cleanup, updates on the San Gabriel Valley groundwater contamination, and also Prop 68 funding. I know our city staff has sent out updates as well as a link to register for any council members or even city officials, city managers who would like to attend to receive this brief update. So you can register up until the day of the event. Hopefully yourself or any fellow colleagues and council members would be interested in attending. I look forward to representing you at the San Gabriel Basin Water Quality. And also if there's any questions, feel free to reach out at any time. Thank you.
Great, thank you. City Clerk, who is next?
Mr. John Rios, Mayor.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Rios. This is Mayor Estrada. I'm calling you from the city of Ballen Park. You have 3 minutes to make your public communication.
Okay. One of the things is the code enforcers and public works. I usually get in contact with them when I see something wrong or I see something dirty or whatever. They've been doing a beautiful job. They respond to the community, especially where I go around and see if they call me, whatever. But one of the complaints that the community is having right now is the electrical bills, that they say that they never got notices in English, Spanish, and Thai. I have requested since October last year for them to send out those notices in 3 languages, and they never did. Another thing is on the public works. Like I said, they're doing a beautiful job. They got together with code enforcers. They cleaned up a lot that was by the city yard, okay? And they did a beautiful job. The other thing is that the community wants to find out when are they going to start doing the sweeping of the streets so they can get notified ahead of time. Don't wait until the last minute or put it in email or whatever. because I was talking to some people and they asked me, I told them, well, most of the time they'll let you know at least a month ahead of time. But they say, well, we don't read emails or we don't send nothing like that or anything else. So that's one of the things is you could notify the community when are they going to start doing it again, so they can be aware of to put their cars in the driveway. But most of the time right now, there's too many cars because there's a lot of people not working and everything. Kids are not going to school. So that's one of the biggest complaints. And I told them, I'll let them know what your request is, So I talked to the chief of police, and he was supposed to get with Caltrans and see if they can go along the freeway in Barnes. There's a lot of things going around that area, and I explained to the chief what was happening.
Great.
I talked to him. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Your time is up, Mr. Rios, but thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I believe on the issue of parking enforcement, there is a with the street cleaner. I believe the city has been making efforts to let everybody know. Is that correct? I'm not sure who I can ask on this point, but I believe I saw flyers on cars recently, and they had the Ballen Park Police logo and it China.
Mr. Mayor, there was information that was put out that there was for the month of March would be warnings, and then beginning April 1st, there would we start with citations again. So it did go out, and I know that it went out on social media as well as the marquee. So I think it's the information out, but we should put it out again.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we don't want anybody to think that we're just kind of gonna get ready to ticket them, right? And I think that's been the plan for a while, that we're gonna give them a warning for a full month and then move on to citations, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then again, somebody is out. I'm not sure what department is out there, but I think it's the Ballen Park Police Department that's out there putting the flyers on the cars.
Correct.
Great. Okay, and thank you for that. And of course, it just takes a little bit of time. There's a lot of houses and only so many of us. City Clerk, who is next?
Our next caller is Ms. Beatriz Sandoval.
Great.
Hello.
Hi, Beatrice. It's Mayor Estrada from City of Ballen Park. I believe you wanted to make a comment.
Yes, Mayor Estrada. Hi. Thank you for calling me. I want to say hi to all council members and congratulate Ms. Betty Nelson for this award. But I calling you because I'm really concerned and need to be honest, very frustrated too. To the chat and the YouTube is turned off. I think so. For some of the council members are violating or are violating our freedom of speech, and also that is the first amendment in our constitution. So please turn on the chat and the YouTube, because them allow more residents participate in the meetings. So please do something about this before someone comes to one demanding another way. But also I want to say thank you to the city workers. I talked to this morning with Mr. Lourdes and Mr. Ron and other people from the city, and questioning them and some things in the agenda and also in the website, the city website. So I think so we need to do better in the website of the city. The information need to be more accurate and on time. and stay there for the most time we need to be there. So and that way we can be more informed and more knowledge that things are happening in our community. Thank you. I know it's hard to see the hard work you are doing in this time on the COVID and the all electronic and digital meetings. We know that all of you are working hard. So more transparency, we need more transparency, and we need to our liberties come back to our residents. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you for that comment, Beatrice. And I know that certain people, certain residents have reached out regarding, they want to know more and they want to be able to get more information from the city. And of course, we want to facilitate that. And I did, we have Parks and Recs director here who takes care of the BP now. And I know that I've expressed to him, how we can make that a little bit easier. We've talked about how we can get more information out there. We want to be sure that there's good communication between the city and our residents. And I believe Manny and his team are getting ready to make a video portion to the ballpark now. Is that correct, Manny?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. We have a new element to the Ballen Park now, which is called Ballen Park Live. And we'll be kicking off our first video, I believe on Monday. We conducted the filming just a few days ago, and we are in the process of editing, and it is looking very, very good. We are highlighting the first project of our entry signs to the city of Ballen Park. I believe we have 3 or 4, and the mayor is featured first on the video, and he is also the narrator, and we will be sharing Val's responsibilities with all the different council members over the next few months. So thank you very much, and I'm hoping this will be a big hit.
Great, thank you for that. And
thank you.
City Clerk, who is next?
The next caller is Mr. Ralph Galvan.
Hello.
Hi, is this board member Ralph Galvan?
Yes, how are you, Mayor? How are you?
Hey, you guessed who it is. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for the time today.
Of course, you have 3 minutes, okay?
Yes, my name is Ralph Gavan. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, staff, and members of the Ballen Park community. My name is Ralph Gavan, a Ballen Park resident and board member on the Valley County Water District. Just wanted to share some information. I'm excited to announce that we're celebrating our 95th anniversary. Please save the date for a water awareness drive-through event set for Friday, May 21st, 2021. Times are to be determined. Can't wait to see familiar faces drive by. There's also a college scholarship opportunity from the Water Education Water Awareness Committee available for students in the Valley County Water District service area. The Water Scholar Program provides financial support to high school seniors planning to attend a 2- or 4-year college in the following school year. The link is available on our website, vcwd.org, under the Newsflash section. In addition, our newly updated website has a variety of free printable activities to do with your kids, from coloring pages to a word search. There's also water saving tips for the kids, for the home, and for your business. You may visit http://vcwd.org/204/education. Chairwoman Ballen Munoz covered the San Gabriel Basin Water Quality Authority special update for city officials tomorrow. And I thank you for your time and for all that you do for a beautiful city of Ballen Park. Have a great night.
Great, thank you. Thank you for that information, board member. City Clerk, is there any more callers?
That concludes.
Great, thank you. So at this moment, I will move to close public communication. And I believe at this point, we can go to the consent calendar. And I just want to confirm consent calendar is items 1 through 6, correct?
Mayor, can I say something really quick?
Yes, Council,
So sorry.
Mayor Pro Tem Avila.
It's in regards to Sweeper Day. As it was mentioned, there's still a lot of people staying home from work. They're not out working yet. So I'm going to ask, I know we're not supposed to block driveways when parking inside, but I noticed that at this time, because there are so many people at home still, people are having to block their driveway so they can fit their cars in. So I'm asking if they can not get ticketed for doing that in the meantime, because there's too many people at home and there's nowhere else to park their cars. So if code enforcement sees, parking enforcement sees that some driveways are being blocked because they're trying to fit all the cars in, if they cannot ticket them, because again, they can be at work, so they have to park somewhere. Thank you, that's all.
Great, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And of course, we do want to keep in mind these things, and we don't want to feel like we don't want any resident to think that that the city's taking advantage during a pandemic, or trying to target anybody. Cars are an issue, of course, and they always have. They're becoming a more constant issue because of more and more families living together. So something to keep in mind as we move forward and we kind of work through March and April. And so hopefully we can just kind of keep that in mind. So at this point, great, thank you, Chief. At this point, we are going to consent calendar, and I believe it was items 1 through 6, correct? So is there any items anybody's looking to pull?
Mayor, I'd like to pull item 8, please.
Okay, and I believe, so I think it's an item on its own outside of the consent calendar.
You're right, sorry.
Yeah, so it should be okay. We'll talk about it. I do want to bring item number 3. I don't know if there's any other items anybody wants to pull. If not, I do want to make the motion. We can pass consent calendars number 1 through 6, except 3. Can I get a second?
Second.
Great. Any objections?
None.
None. And so item 3, I think it's pretty important for everybody to understand. I know that sometimes when you kind of go through the agenda, it's a little bit difficult to read. So I just maybe if we can get city attorney to just kind of clarify what item number 3 means.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I was on mute. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay, so item number 3 on our regular agenda. Ratify and adopt a resolution to amend the executive unclassified benefits matrix. This is something, as I understand it, that Human Resources put together, and I think it relates to, what people can cash out, what people can do, how the benefits matrix is going to be going forward.
Of course, and then this primarily affects council members, right? And their take-home pay.
It primarily does affect council members and their take-home pay, Mr. Mayor. It does deal a little bit with other areas, but in specific and in particular, yes, this was designed towards making sure the unclassified benefits matrix lines up with all of our city codes, regulations, state laws, so on and so forth.
Great, and I know that some callers did call, talking about transparency, and as we move forward and we change the structures within City Hall, I think it's important that our residents understand that the city council is moving swiftly to change certain things, right? And so item number 3 limits the take-home pay for council members. And I think it's important that we not only pass it, but that we let residents know. I know that a lot of times residents are out there and they like to infer certain things about council members, or that we make, that we are out here, living lavishly, which is entirely not true. And at this point, item number 3 does limit a lot of these things. As I said, primarily limits benefits for the council. So with that being said, I make a motion to pass item number 3.
Second.
Thank you. Any objections? No? So item number 3 passes. And I believe at this moment we are going to the public hearing.
No, Mayor?
Yes.
I don't oppose. I don't oppose the motion, or I'm not objecting, but I did want to add something just for full transparency. I know that our city attorney has provided an entire memo, and I don't want there to be any misunderstanding going forward that there's a certain amount that has been diverted to other funds. So even though we're not taking home the amount, we are still receiving the amount in the form of retirement benefits. And so just in full transparency, since, we are discussing this item, we don't want to give any misimpression on that. So any reduction that I guess has been, implied in this is in fact, it's being diverted to a retirement fund. And it's consistent with policies that other cities have adopted. And, we want to be in compliance with the state as well. So just wanted to share that in full transparency. Thank you.
Of course. And you are referring.
Mayor, if I may.
Sure. I don't know who wants to go first. I was going to kind of add something to that, but.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Okay. So, of course, you are correct. And to be more specific, this means that the city city council members do receive health benefits. They receive a certain amount that they can spend on health benefits that in the past was being cashed out. And so when council members cash out money, it is no longer a health benefit. It is an increase to your income. Under state law, council members can only earn so much money. And so this is a move to make sure that we are in compliance with not just our neighboring cities, but in compliance with state law. It is questionable on a state level, on the basis of legality. So of course we want to be transparent and avoid any of that. And with that being said, council did act very swiftly, and I'm very proud of that. Councilmember Damon, I believe you wanted to say something.
Yeah, and just so that we're on the topic of transparency, I want to make it even more transparent that it has been over a year that the city attorney recommended to prior council to stop the cash out of this cafeteria. And when we came into office and it was told that we're walking a gray line here, we decided, no, if this is, borderline illegal, whether we're sure or not, we shouldn't be doing it. And so that's the reason why we acted to adopt this. But just for the record, prior council was cashing out for a full year, knowing that it was not right to be done. So just so that we can disclose full transparency.
Mayor Pro Tem, did you want to say anything?
Yes, well, you actually touched on what I was going to say about the benefits and going by state law. Also, if we can go maybe a little further, when we have changes on any legal documents or that things or laws that we're adopting, if we can have it highlighted and mentioned on the agenda, for example, on item 3, the items that were changed that we're adopting, so that the public knows exactly what we're talking about, because this is very vague, and Ms. Garcia clarified it, and then Mr. Demon clarified it as well. But if we could just read it out in the future, the changes, so they can see what we're talking about is not so vague. Thank you.
Great, thank you for that. And of course, so I believe this item passes. We are done on that topic. I believe the public hearing is next. City Clerk, is there anybody in the public hearing that's willing to speak?
No.
Great. So there is, so item number 7, I don't know if it might be Ben who might be able to give us kind of an overview on this and just maybe just have some discussion.
Ben or City Planner Ron Garcia would be here. I think, Ron, did you have a presentation?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Shannon. I do have a short presentation, and I can go through it quickly with the council. Let's see. If you can go to the next slide, David, please. Thank you. Before you is a request for consideration of a recommendation of approval from the Planning Commission to the City Council to approve Development Agreement 2101 between the City of Baldwin Park and 6 Beyond Inc. To grant a cannabis permit for non-extraction edible cannabis products located at 5018 Lante Street within the industrial zone. Next slide, please. The subject property consists of a 51,923 square foot lot and is developed with a 30,959 square foot building. The building is currently operating as a commercial bakery within the site. The proposal is to use 9,638 square feet of the facility to manufacture edible cannabis products by non-extraction methods. Next slide, please. The application has been reviewed by the Planning Division and meets all the current development standards set forth in the cannabis ordinance, specifically distance greater than 600 feet from a school, childcare facility, or youth center, and it is a distance of greater than 25 feet from a dwelling unit within a residential zone, as required under the cannabis ordinance. All required security features will be incorporated into the tenant improvement. There will be no outside signage allowed. There will be no public visitation, as this business will not be open to the public. Lastly, there will be no cannabis odor emitting from the facility, as all ingredients containing cannabis will be delivered to the facility prepared for mixing. Next slide. In conclusion, staff recommends that the council adopt ordinance 1458, approving development agreement 2101 to permit the non-extraction of commercial manufacturing for adult cannabis food edibles within the existing commercial baking facility. That concludes staff's presentation. The applicant is present for any further questions. Thank you.
Sure. You know, I was going to ask you, Ron, but maybe we can just talk to the applicant so he can just answer our questions. It's Robert Gray, correct?
Correct, I'm on.
Correct.
Right. So just kind of give us a background about yourself. If I'm not mistaken, you've been in the bread making industry, correct?
Correct. I came out of the restaurant business and bought my existing bakery in 2005. I've been baking for the specialty markets of the United States since then, and was forced under a eminent domain threat in the city of Glendale to lose my buildings that I relocated to Baldwin Park. Ever since then, the city's been very helpful in getting me up and running. The bulk of our employee base is from the Baldwin Park area, and we've had good success in growing our business in our new facility. So we specialize in scratch-baked, non-GMO goods, and we saw an opportunity to expand our marketplace. And when we found out that the city of Baldwin Park was a cannabis-friendly community, it was about the same time that my dad was diagnosed with cancer. So thankfully, he recovered from that. But we saw the opportunity to cater what we do very well, which is manufacture high-quality food, and then we could microdose it and focus on the health and wellness side of the cannabis industry. So we're looking for support to make sure that we can convert our existing facility over to the cannabis space and continue our operations.
Great. I don't know if council members have any questions. I do want to just, you know, I know that one of the biggest efforts for this council is to make sure that, you know, the cannabis industry gets a better name around here, you know, in the city, and make sure that it's transparent and safe process, and that we're all, you know, comfortable with it. You know, I've spoken to Chief about it and make sure that, you know, the police is comfortable with the process that we're taking, that they're getting involved. Did you maybe can you just touch on security and what it involves in your agreement?
So we have to abide by the state of California regulations as far as security. But if you see from the pictures that were in the agreement, our site is already secure. So we jumped ahead and looked at all the regulations as far as site security that are required by the state of California. And prior to the application with the city of Baldwin Park, we had already installed all the cameras that are necessary. And as far as the site security, we were already compliant. We are going to add additional security as we grow the operation, and as is recommended by the police department and the city. We can add live guards, we can do double secure entries, but our site is already secure inside now.
Great. And so I don't know if any other council members have any questions.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you. Robert, thank you very much for going through this process with the city. I know you've presented to us back in, I believe, August or so, and I think Mayor Pro Tem may have actually visited your facility along with their previous mayor quite some time. I haven't made it out there, but once we're done with all this COVID, I do hope we approve this. And you've continued to flourish and have a very successful business endeavor in this cannabis sector. So that's all I have to say for today.
Thank you very much. We've always welcomed everybody from the city through the facility. We've hosted meetings out there with everybody from the police department to all the city officials. And we welcome you anytime to the facility to check out what we do, because it really is a fascinating process.
Mayor?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, I wanted to say I did have the pleasure of meeting you, sir, and I did go to your facility. It's a beautiful, clean facility. I like the way you run your business, following a lot of guidelines. So I do recommend that the rest of the council go and visit the facility because he's worked really hard to keep this business, and he's been in business for many years. So he knows how to run a business by the book. So I appreciate him doing that. And thank you for having me. It's been a little bit over a year now, but thank you.
Thank you for coming out.
Great. And I'm a big fan of tours, so maybe I'll be out there soon. Maybe just before, I don't know if we can, it should be okay. I did want to just discuss with if Ben or Ron are here what a process like this is and if it brings in revenue for the city.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Can you repeat that one more time, Mayor?
Can you just maybe talk I think the agreement is on there, right? In the staff report, and maybe what the revenue stream is for the city.
Yes, thank you for noting that. Yes, the annual mitigation fee, the development agreement is in place for 15 years, and the annual mitigation fee is $220,000 annually.
And that's a year, right?
Correct.
Great. So I thought that was just important to note. So everybody viewing and all of us are aware of the revenue that's going to come in from approving this. And we've talked to Robert, and he knows what he's doing. He's a businessman. He's got the experience. So I'm comfortable with this. I don't know if any other council members have any questions. If not, I make the
Mr.
motion.
Mayor, if I may.
Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, appreciate it. Just to add to the figure that Mr. Garcia just mentioned, this is a practice that we've been advocating that it be standardized. So what Mr. Gray is paying for his license is the same that the next applicant will be paying, and the previous applicants have been paying since 2019. So that's something that when we talk about equity and fairness and full transparency, that is the standard, and that's the practice that the City Council has established for the last 2 years, and I suspect we'll continue to move forward in that manner. So thank you.
Yeah, and Robert, I don't want to push on it, but I kind of want you to talk about your banana bread before we approve this.
That is quite a popular item, but we were fortunate to have one of our best clients, and they don't like me to advertise who I bake for, but I think you know who they are. But that very popular item it enables us to fully staff our facility, and we do. It's a 1 pound vegan banana bread that we make upwards of 5,000 loaves a day of.
Oh wow. Okay, gotcha. Okay, just thought you should touch on it. I think that's that's how we all know who you are.
It is delicious.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to this. I think this is a good opportunity for the city and of course for Mr. Gray. So with that being said, motion to pass item number 7.
Second.
Any objections? None, and item passes. And I believe at this point we are at the reports of officers, and that's item number 8.
Thank you all very much.
Yes, of course, thank you. And I believe Mayor Pro Tem wanted to touch on this subject.
Yes, I wanted to bring this item back. And the reason for that, first, I noticed there's not enough applicants. And I think our deputy city clerk had this conversation with me, and I agree that we need to be more descriptive on and clarify the requirements of the job duties. And maybe once we have that ironed out, once we post it, we'll have more people interested in applying. And we need a full list of applicants so we can just put everybody on at one time. So we can just hold off on it and have all that work done by deputy city clerk. And when she gets it all done, we can repost it with the full clarification of what the requirements are to be a commissioner. So I'd like to make sure to bring that back, please.
And Mayor Pro Tem, before we continue, I do want to just go back and backtrack a little bit and close the public communication for the public hearing.
All right.
Close that. So closed. And now we are back to you.
Okay. So my motion is to bring this back, item 8 back, please.
Great. And I believe, Shannon.
Before we vote on the motion, if I can just make a recommendation for, I don't know if this will be Lulu City Clerk or who we can get to do this. I've noticed that the Housing and the Personnel Commissions have been vacant for many years. And for example, right now we have the Planning Commission, that's always been full. We have 1 vacancy, the rest term out in June. We had 3 applicants for that. And then for the Recreation and Community Services, we have 1 vacancy, but the Housing and Personnel, we have, no applicants. We have 2 for the Housing. So my recommendation would be if we can do some sort of online Zoom workshop, kind of like the way Manny does with the community, with Parks and Recreation, when they're taking community input regarding the, the trails and the expansion of the parks, so that we can pretty much educate our residents as to what is the position of each commission, the Planning, the Recreation and Community Services. What is their job description? What is it they're supposed to do? And then also explain to them how to go to the website or maybe apply, so that we can get more of our community involved and we have more people applying. And so that this way, when we bring this back either in May or June, we have a big pool of applicants, and we can, kind of fill in these vacancies in these other commissions.
Oh, thank you, council member. That's a great idea. We could take that and turn it into also an educational video. That way it could be replayed on different medias, social media, and our website. So that's something we can pursue.
Great idea.
Great. And then, so can you just kind of reiterate your motion, Mayor Pro Tem?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, can you reiterate your motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to bring item 8 back, please.
And so one more time before we vote on it. Are we, when do you want to bring this back? Are we, Shannon, are all the terms up soon?
So even though a term is up, that person can continue to serve until they're replaced. So, we typically would try to get the vacancies filled and then worry about if we're going to, depending on the numbers of applications, if you want to replace people whose terms are up.
Yeah, so when do these terms expire?
June
30th.
So my goal is, I know Lulu needs to upgrade all the information on the commission. So I know it'll take time, maybe a week and a half for her to get that up there. Once she has it up there, we can post that the positions are open and people can start looking up. And Mr. Damien, like he said, the idea of having a video, a Zoom class, letting people know what the commissions are about and what the work will be, so people can apply, so they can know what they're working on, what would they be doing once they are in the commission. So I'm thinking, here we are, March, have the application process open until mid-April. And then we can take it from there, depending how many applicants we have, because they're due up in June. We don't have to wait till the end of June to get all the commissions up and running.
Yeah, and I do want to make sure that we take advantage. Sorry, Councilmember Damien. I do want to make sure that we take advantage of the time and really push the commissions out there. The commissions are a really, really good opportunity for residents of all ages, I believe, as long as they're over 18, to get involved. And I think that'd be interesting. We can create more diverse commissions that are more representative of demographics in Baldwin Park. And I think we can make this a really good opportunity.
I think our timeline, if we really want to do that community outreach with the with the video and stuff, if we shoot for April, I think the timeline may be too short, right? Because they got to get the presentation ready, and then we got to start announcing it so people know that it's out there, and maybe hold 1 or 2 of them. So why don't we? You think maybe a May, first meeting of May is a good time to bring it back?
Sure. Are we only bringing it back for 1 seat? Or
No,
Doug?
I mean,
No, everybody.
we can do it. We can do it, everybody, because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, also it's going to depend on how many applicants we get. We just want to be able to have enough time to promote this and get it out there and explain what the commissions are. Because if we push it to April, we may not have enough time to do that community outreach so that we can get the, you know, the residents to attend those videos or Zooms. This way we kind of put a date for like the first meeting of May. It'll give us these 2 months to prep for it and get it out there.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Shannon, I'm assuming maybe Manny will be also pushing the social media. Does that timeline work for you to make sure that we can get this out and make sure that more residents are aware of the application opportunity?
And bring it back to the council in middle or late May. I think that works.
Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that should work.
Great. I would support that. So if you want to make that a motion, Mayor Pro Tem.
Exactly what you said. I make that a motion to repeat everything. Yes, let's do that. Let's look at an early May timeline. That way it gives staff time, because I know it will be a lot of work. It gives them time to get the videos going or the meetings going. It gives Lulu time to get all the clarification on the job requirements as well for her to post on the website. So yes, let's bring it back in May, early May.
Okay, great. That's fine. Any objections? Or second first? Is there a second? I'll second it. Is there any objections? None? Good. Okay, so that's item number 8. And I believe that concludes all of our items. Now we move on to staff requests and communications. I did want to request discussion and direction to staff to send out a request for qualifications for on-call and overflow legal services. I think it's a good idea. We can have a more diverse, not a bench, that's not the right word, but we can have a more diverse team of attorneys that are specialized in different areas so that we can better navigate city issues and be better prepared. And I think that would also add to the case of transparency and make sure that we're rotating on our attorneys. So I don't know if any council members have any questions or concerns.
No, that's fine.
Great. So I believe at this point we are all in a consensus that this is a good idea. So staff has that full okay to move on.
Thank you.
Will do.
Is there any other comments or concerns council members want to share before I adjourn?
I do, Mayor. I would like to talk about, I've been getting a lot of texts, and then we had Beatriz who called in today regarding the chat on the YouTube. I believe it was open on the first meeting, from what I understand. I don't know. I didn't look at the 5 o'clock one, but we need to bring this back into a discussion. I am in agreement with everyone else that we cannot allow for any type of vulgar or any profanity or any comments, you know, that people are posting on there. We need to try to figure out how we can monitor that. But in a way right now, you know, yes, we're giving the people the meeting, you know, so that they can see it on YouTube, but a lot of them like to communicate through there. And yes, I'm not, you know, advocating for the ones who are vulgar on there. I am against that. But we should make this take this a serious discussion between us and figure out how we can get this chat back on with, you know, a way that we can monitor it. So that way we have a discussion on this, because there is a lot of people that are complaining about it.
Okay.
Can we put that into a discussion in another closed session just so that we can discuss it?
Yes, but Mr. Damian, we did have this conversation already in the past, and staff was going to come back and create a policy for us to review and for us to discuss at not in closed session, but in public study session for exactly those, for all the reasons you spoke to. So yeah, so it's just a matter of when staff's ready to begin that process for us. And like I said, as you've mentioned and I've mentioned, and I know Councilmember Garcia has mentioned in the past, is, you know, who's going to be monitoring it, you know, who's going to be, you know, be the hall monitor or the administrator for that, and so forth. So, you know, those are all questions that we have to answer, because should someone be offended by something that happens while that's on there and there's repeat offenders, you know, we as a city are going to be held liable for that. And you know, I'm not looking towards any type of lawsuit or anything else of that nature, but those are the policies. And more importantly, like you mentioned, is the process of what that is. So I welcome that discussion in, at a future study session.
Yeah, and again, that's just because, we left it at that the last time, but we never really gave, a timeline. So I'm just kind of reiterating, let's get on it. Let's try to get staff to, work on this policy if they've been working on it or not. But let's just try to get it into some type of discussion sooner than later, because, here we are gonna maybe end up in December, and then we're still gonna be getting text messages and phone calls that the chat's disabled and we haven't addressed it. So this way we can just kind of get some type of policies and procedures put in order so that we can bring it into a study session, and then we can decide on that. And hopefully it's sooner than later. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mayor?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
Oh, this is a different topic. It's not about the chat.
Oh, are we done with that? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I agree. They should be heard, but I do agree also that they need to not insult or use vulgar language in any way. And as a city, we need to protect everybody that works for the city, as well as whoever's on the chat. But also, as council members, I think our community deserves to have us live. If we were at an actual council meeting, we would have to be there, right? So I think we're on Zoom and our cameras should be turned on not at all times, because sometimes we have to turn it off. Mine keeps going off. But they deserve for us to have the cameras on. This is a city council meeting, so I'm requesting that everybody's camera should be on. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Garcia.
I'd like to also recommend that our treasurer, Marie Contreras, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance at our meetings, because, in a regular council meeting, we would see her and sometimes she has to tell us like, hey, I'm here, guys, and I think it would be nice to give her that space, just so that she can participate in our meetings. I think she would actually like to do that. So that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, if Marie's comfortable, we can always pick her. I like to pick different people. Like today we had, former Councilmember Cruz Baca, and I thought it'd be nice to let her do the flag salute for us. Every day I've been picking somebody different, just to make sure that, we all have the opportunity to do so. So that's kind of.
If somebody wants to put in a request, then absolutely, if they want to put in a request to lead that, then I agree with you. Then yeah, give them that time. But I think it'd be nice, because Marie is our elected treasurer and we don't really hear from her during the meetings.
Yeah.
So, that would just be my suggestion, but it's entirely up to you. That was just my recommendation.
Is that Marie? Is that something I don't want to force you to do it. Do you want to be our you're on mute, but do you want to be our flag leader for the rest of forever?
Nothing's forever. But thank you, Councilman Garcia, for thinking of me. Me and the mic are always scary. That's why I don't talk so much. But once I start, I'll just keep on going.
Well, the flag salute is only so long, so I'm not entirely sure how you're going to keep it going. But
I better stop practicing the flag salute.
I will make sure city clerk sends you a little note so you don't forget it. But if you, of course, we always love hearing Marie speak. We don't hear you often, so if you'd like, we can give you that spotlight for a little bit, hear you out a little bit more, even if it's just a flag salute, and make sure that you're part of our council meetings.
That's okay. We can alternate.
Okay, we can alternate. I'd give you voting power, but I can't. So the flag salute is probably the best thing to do.
Thanks. Thank you, Councilman Garcia.
Okay, so I will definitely keep you more in mind, Marie. Thank you for being.
That's fine.
And I believe at this moment, correct me if I'm wrong, City Attorney, but we are not adjourning the meeting because we are recessing back into closed session.
That is correct, Mr. Mayor.
Great. So I will see you all. Oh, yes.
And if I could just add, yes, if everybody could use the original closed session Zoom meeting, that one is still active. And then after that meeting, we'll have to join back into this one to report out.
Great. So I will see you all on the closed session.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Marie.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Okay. Hi, Mark, we're back.
Okay, we're still live.
Okay, we're live. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mayor, we are live. So I think as soon as the attorney's back.
Oh, there it is. Hey, everybody. I see Chief and Marie are still on.
Hey, Chief. Hi, Marie.
Hi, hello, everybody.
Hello, Chief.
Hello.
Hi, Chief.
Thanks for waiting for us.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are all here, right? So we have quorum. So City Attorney, would you please report out?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City Council considered several items in closed session. The City Council also added an urgency item in closed session because the item came up after the agenda was passed. And that item was under existing litigation. It is Dominguez v. the City of Baldwin Park. So that item was added as an urgency item in closed session. No final action was taken regarding that item. And so there's no reportable action regarding Dominguez. In addition, there was no final action taken on the other items discussed in closed session. Therefore, no reportable action. And that does conclude my report.
Great. Thank you for that, City Attorney. At this point, I believe we are done with city business. I will move to adjourn the meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any objections? None. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.